The Italian grocery store chain, Top Tomato, was started by the Ciandra family in 1979. There were several locations in Staten Island, in the Great Kills, Richmond Valley, Pottenville, and Travis areas. In and around December 2005, an 18-year-old girl named Maria Balsamo worked at Top Tomato's Travis location as a cashier. One of the owners, Salvatore Ciandra, had his eye on his cashier, and one day allegedly told her, "You don't have to work the register. I could give you money for clothes." There was also an incident in the store's trailer and inappropriate touching. Nonetheless, Ciandra's advances towards the young woman were rejected, and she was subsequently fired from her job at Top Tomato. She naturally explained the reasoning why she lost her cashier's job to her father. Patrick Balsamo was an ex-cop who retired in the early 90s and had worked out of the 61st Precinct in Coney Island, Brooklyn. He was also a Bonanno Associate, nicknamed Patty the Cop. Balsamo was understandably enraged after learning from his daughter what transpired, and decided to go to Top Tomato and confront Salvatore Ciandra. Balsamo, his son and daughter, headed over to the store. He was followed by Bonanno member Ronald Carlucci and Michael Vega. When they arrived at the store and asked for Ciandra, they were told he wasn't there. So Balsamo called him, but he denied the allegations and called the girl a liar, which further enraged Balsamo, who along with his son was armed with baseball bats and began smashing the registers as well as the front windows to the store, which was all caught on video surveillance. Someone placed a call to Carmine Ciandra, Salvatore's brother, who was the principal owner of the business. But more significantly, he was also a Gambino captain, and a well-known one. Carmine showed up to his business with a bat of his own and approached Balsamo just outside the store. Balsamo took out a .25 automatic and shot him in the stomach. According to reports, one of the Bonannos tried to lunge for Balsamo's gun as he just tried to shoot a Top Tomato worker, but luckily the gun jammed. Shell casings found on the ground would later be matched to Balsamo's gun. Balsamo left the scene with his children, and Carlucci and Vega fled in a Lexus. The police would later catch up with them, and they were initially charged, but those charges were dropped. Balsamo turned himself into the 122nd Precinct on Highland Boulevard in Staten Island. Ciandra was taken to the hospital and given a colostomy bag. When detectives tried questioning him, he hit the morphine button and refused to speak with them. Balsamo was released on $25,000 bail, and although a resident of Staten Island, he laid low in his father's house in Brooklyn. Despite video surveillance that was taken inside the store, as well as the shell casings, the charges against Balsamo were eventually dropped. The official reason was that Ciandra was a reluctant witness and there was a lack of evidence. Ciandra would later tell the police that he couldn't ID the person who shot him. Personally, I believe if Balsamo wasn't an ex-cop, they would have pushed this case. But one thing's for certain, you can believe there were major sit-downs regarding this incident between the Bonanno and Gambino families.